Hello. So, um, good evening. Today has been a little nuts. If you've been looking at my Facebook page, I made Queen of Mall today. And so there's a whole bunch of little live videos. It is a very finicky Breton pastry. And this is the first time I've ever made it, and I thought it would be a red hot mess. And actually, it came out pretty goddamn perfect. And so that was fun because, yeah, being stuck in the house with 5 pounds of yeast means you better turn yourself either into a brewer or a pastry chef pretty damn fast. So, yummy. So today, or this evening's chapter is, oh, wait, that's my recipe for Queen of Mall. Never mind. Is Once Upon a Scream and Other Princess Stuff. So basically, we are going to be going to the Magic Kingdom, which is the Walt Disney World version of Disneyland. And for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is an after-hours separate ticketed event where the adults can wear Halloween costumes. And now I haven't been to the park for Mickey's Not So Scary in a while, but at the time when I was going regularly, adults could dress as Disney characters. This was really before cosplay became such a thing. Because let's face it, there are a lot of cosplayers that look shit tons better than the park characters. Especially a lot of the princesses. Their outfits are better. Their people are better. They're just better. And I know at one point Disneyland was getting a little pissy about adults and costumes, even really cracking down on not being able to dress as a Disney character. You could wear a costume, but it's not a Disney costume. Because they didn't want children to confuse you with their theme characters. So, like I said, I wrote this back in 2014. This happened about 20 years ago. So, yeah, let's get started. The bus was fairly quick, and we got back to the room with plenty of time. Roger can get dressed in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I have a dress, petticoat, makeup, wig, all the fun stuff. Yes, I brought my Sleeping Beauty dress, and it rocks. Right now, I just needed to get my Princess Aurora makeup on. Roger only had to get his Doc Holliday outfit, which goes with my Big Nose Kate outfit for Halloween tomorrow, so he wore that. He really did look good, but I was a frenzied mess. I agreed to keep Pal Mickey at home. Princess Aurora doesn't cart Pal Mickey around. Sorry, Mick. Finally, after primping, preening, powdering, and doing the 2-handed wig stuff, I am ready to go. Now I just need one thing. A large square Band-Aid patch. You see, I have a tattoo on my upper right arm. And it shows with the dress. Princess Aurora doesn't have tattoos, at least not where we can see them. So I figure a beige Band-Aid will hardly show, and it's better than body paint, which I don't have anyway. I can show the tattoo when I'm dressed as Kate the next day. My problem, I forgot to pack a Band-Aid. So I asked the front desk, and after 5 minutes of hunting, they came back empty-handed. I figured I'd sort it out once I got to the park. I waved to the little kids. We took the boat over to Magic Kingdom. I was a bit nervous about our timing since the party starts at 7 p.m., but our reservations for Cinderella's table were at 5 p.m. We should be entering the park about 4:30, and I would be dressed as Aurora before the party started. Why is this an issue? Disney does not allow anyone past puberty to dress as Disney characters unless it's a private ticketed event and you don't pretend to be a cast member. They do allow Disney character costumes at this event, but the event doesn't start for 2.5 hours yet, and I didn't know if they would have a problem with it. Let's face it, most soccer moms dressed in a Minnie Mouse dress, pushing a stroller and wrangling a diaper bag will never be mistaken by kids for the real Minnie Mouse. My dress is different. It's better than anything the park has for their performers. The last thing I want to do is poke mouse security. We arrive at the park gates, follow the chipper cast members who are directing the evening party traffic to the side, and we showed our party cards. They gave us orange wristbands, and in we went. They didn't bat an eyelash. My first stop was City Hall so I could get some tattoo coverage. They gave us directions to the first aid station at the end of Main Street. When we got there, I asked for a large square Band-Aid. One of the ladies called me Cinderella, and I got all huffy. The other lady got it right. They remarked that they'd never seen the blue dress. They just see the blue dress on Cinderella. Well, that set me off on my princess soapbox. Cinderella never wore a goddamn blue dress in the movie. Her white dress appears grayish blue when she is dancing in shadow out on the terrace with the prince. Sleeping Beauty always wore the blue dress. The only time she wore the pink dress was at the end of the movie when the fairies were changing its color back and forth from pink to blue and back and forth. Don't get me started on Cinderella's hair color. Hint, she is not a golden blonde like Alice in Wonderland. End of soapbox rant. I am a total princess geek, and I know it. I just couldn't wait to get to Cindy's for dinner. We have to enter Fantasyland from behind the castle since the show was going on in front of it. It had something to do with Cinderella, a birthday present, the evil queen, and Captain Hook. I know, it was totally confusing. I have no idea what Captain Hook was doing there and couldn't be bothered to try to find out. I had better things to do, like eat dinner inside a castle. The castle looked really cool, especially when you're dressed like a princess. We were 20 minutes early, but we were seated anyway. We were led into the Great Hall with a large throne along one wall. I heard the fairy godmother character from Cinderella sometimes does meet and greets here, but when we entered the hall, it was empty. We walked up windy castle steps, which quite frankly reminded me of Sleeping Beauty's attic area, into the restaurant. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't quite this. The room was a lot smaller than I thought. It reminded me of the Brown Derby restaurant over at Disney Studios. You have tables in the back that are one level up, and then you step down into a center pit area where there are more tables. I can see where character breakfasts can be tight and meet and greet can be a bit confusing. There are windows that look out over Fantasyland and the carousel. The hostess called me Princess. I waved to little girls who waved back at me. They seat us over by the window area, not at the window, and I'm impressed by the menu. Gee, for park food, this is looking pretty good. It seems that the ledge outside the castle windows is used by cast members in the show to cut from one part of the stage to another. Peter Pan runs by our window a few times. That was fun. After dinner, we decided we took some pictures in the big throne downstairs and decided to walk around outside before the party started. Behind the castle in the Fantasyland courtyard, they had Cinderella's coach, all dressed up for Halloween. We asked a nice lady if she would take our picture. She agreed and asked if we would take theirs. Then she asked me if I would take a picture with her daughter. I said, sure, no problem. Here is where it starts again. You see, the last time I was here for Mickey's Halloween party in 1998, which was also the very first year I was at Walt Disney World, I was mobbed by small children in front of the park for pictures. I had a line that stretched from the Main Street hub to the Jungle Cruise, or at least it felt that way. The problem was when a child wanted me to sign an autograph. That is verboten by Disney rules. I didn't know that at the time. The Mickey Mafia removed me from the line, hid me in a shop while the crowd died down, and then told me I could pose for pictures, but no signing autographs. Now, what I couldn't understand was why not? It's not like it's not like they're real. I know, stop screaming. I'm forging a fictional character signature. Well, there's a reason for all things Disney. It seems all of the characters that sign books have a unique autograph signature, and all of the actors that portray each character must sign all autographs the same way. That way, no matter which Mickey or Mulan or Snow White signs your book, the signature looks the same. Okay, I buy that. With that in mind, I came prepared this time for the eventual autograph book with a great line. I started taking pictures with little kids, and before too long, I had a long line going. The kids were darling, especially the one that said, "Ooh, it's Sleeping Booty." I resisted the urge to check out my backside. I flashed my orange wristband to the parents. They knew I wasn't an official Disney theme character. They didn't care. Cool, no problem. When the first kid came up with an autograph book, I told him, "I'm sorry, but I fell off my horse when Prince Philip and I were riding today and hurt my wrist. So I can't sign autographs, but I would love to take a picture with you if you would like." I figured that was the most diplomatic approach. Meanwhile, Roger had wandered off to a safe distance to smoke and wait it out. I now had a line of about 15 kids. While I love taking pictures with little kids, I also wanted to get on with the party. As if by mental telepathy, a cast member showed up at my side. She was really cheery and perky, a big change from the ones who gave me the bum's rush on the first trip. I told her I was being good and posing for pictures, but not signing any autographs. She asked if I needed any help getting away from the crowd that was gathering. I said, actually, I would in a few minutes. I'll gladly take pictures with the kids who are already there, but really wanted to go on some rides. She was really good about getting me out of there. Once I was away from the kids, I told Roger that we should probably beat it out of Fantasyland until the party starts. There are usually, mundanes, non-costumed party people in this area, and we need to find our costume-wearing party peeps. Now, the mouse corralled all of us wristbanded partygoers into Tomorrowland, and Roger and I went on to the Buzz Lightyear ride. Now, this was the longest line we ever waited in our entire trip, and it was a whopping 25 minutes. Not too bad, except for the scary white trash lady that decided to change her two-year-old kid's extremely poopy diaper right there on the floor in line. Okay, if we had smell-o-vision right now, you would be running from the room. I can't believe some people. What is wrong with a bathroom? Hello? They have changing tables in there and everything. Everyone around me was completely grossed out. This little girl asks her mom, "Why is that lady doing that?" And her mom replies, "Because she doesn't know any better, dear." And I added, "This is what happens when you're raised by Wolverines." We thank God that they didn't just leave the dirty diaper there on the floor, because I've seen people do that. Did they take it outside, preferably to a toxic waste disposal site? No, they put it in a trash can that was in line, a line that's in an enclosed room. This precipitated another discussion about how kind it was for these morons to smell up the line for everyone in a small enclosed space. Well, we get into our Space Ranger pod, arm ourselves with laser guns, and Roger proceeds to kick my princess butt score-wise. I swear, I can shoot for real, but this is getting frustrating. He said to just keep the trigger down and sweep it around. That doesn't work. but I had fun. The party clock had struck 7, so we headed into the park for reals. We crossed the plaza and entered Adventureland. That was when I heard the scream. I whip around looking for a small rodent I must have stepped on. Finding no small squished animal, I scan the area for the source of the scream. It was a cast member squealing and pointing at me. She yells, "Stay right there!" and runs backstage. I freeze in place. Then I realize I'm blocking a trick-or-treat line, so I move over to the side. Far be it for me to keep children and adults alike from wiring themselves to the gills on free sugar. I try to stay in the same place so the cast member could find me again. Roger just looks amused. I have no idea what I've done, but I hope it's something cool, like I'm the 1 billionth visitor and I've won $1 million. Yeah, I wish. The cast member comes back with a camera and asks her coworker to take a picture of us. I didn't win $1 million. It seems she loves Sleeping Beauty nearly as much as I do and has the same passion for the blue dress, the correct dress, as I do. It was pretty cool to have cast members appreciate my outfit. After exchanging 10 minutes of geeking out on various Disney costuming decisions, I see that Roger is getting bored. I say my goodbyes and we make a run to Haunted Mansion and ride that first, it being Halloween and all. Now, I will say that California people and Florida people are very different, aside from voting practices and hanging chads. In Disneyland, there was a thing we all do with Haunted Mansion. Everyone recites parts of the stretching room dialogue. You'll hear everyone saying, "This room has no windows and no doors, which offers you this chilling challenge. To find a way out." Of course, there is always my way. At which point we all look up at the hanging body and scream blue murder at the top of our lungs in the dark. Well, it appears the people at the Magic Kingdom don't do that. In fact, they will be annoyed with you if you do. Audience participation is frowned on. I told this to Roger, so there were no awkward social situations. Mainly because I am wearing the dress. So I can't behave in my normal manner. If I am wearing the dress, there is no swearing, no yelling, no kissing on Roger, or him grabbing my behind. Not in the dress. As long as I look at like a Disney character, I need to behave like one as well. I swore that I'd make it up when I was in my Tombstone outfit the next night. After the mansion, we see a sign advertising a haunted riverboat ride, so we jumped on that. I had visions of severed heads and spooky music and at least some cool characters. No such luck. There was nothing scary about it. No scary stories or severed heads, and no happy haunts from the Haunted Mansion hitching a ride. Perhaps Disney just thought riding the riverboat in the dark without an educational soundtrack was scary enough. No, Disney, it's not. I realize this isn't Universal Studios Fright Night with its zombies and chainsaws, but something a little eerie would have been appreciated. As we wander around Liberty Square, I told Roger that during the parade, the Headless Horseman kicks things off by riding down the street on a coal black horse, holding his flaming pumpkin head aloft, and right before the parade, a storyteller tells the legend of Sleepy Hollow under the Liberty Tree. We make mental notes to see the second parade there and listen to the story. I mean, we need something spooky to do. Poor Roger. People keep thinking he's Rhett Butler. After a while, I just say go with it. He's dashing just like Rhett Butler. Over the next few hours, we managed to ride all the major attractions except for Splash Mountain because there is no way I'm going to get soaked while wearing this dress. Well, my feet are now starting to hurt, and we decide to scope out a place in Liberty Square to watch the parade and listen to the legend of Sleepy Hollow. We're on the right side of the street next to a planter. We listened to the story, which was very good and classically creepy, then settled down to wait for the parade. Now, I have never had a horrible parade experience. I read about them online and sympathize. My luck is about to run out. About 5 minutes before the parade was to start, along comes a man with his two daughters. One was about 12 and the other about 8. First, he tries to shove the 12-year-old ahead of people camped on the curve and told her just to stand in front of them. She looked very uncomfortable and didn't want to do it, but he kept telling her, just step out there. I was thinking, look, you jerk. Stop pushing your kid. She knows it's wrong. Cut it out. He then puts the 8-year-old on the brick ledge of the planter, right behind Roger. Oh no, this is not going to be good. Now, neither Roger nor myself have a problem with a small child seeing a parade. But it's another thing when adults get to the parade at the last minute and think it's their God-given right to push their kids in front of you, crowd into your personal space, and step on your things because it's all about them. I really dislike these people. Now, since I am wearing the dress, I am constrained as to what I can do or say. If I was in my regular clothes, my mouth would be in overdrive. No one gets away with this kind of douchebaggery behavior without me taking them to school. But I'm dressed as Princess Aurora, so I can't. This is giving me an uncomfortable picture of the cast members who dress as characters for their jobs. See this kind of crap every single day, and like me, can't do a damn thing about it. Little kids don't want to see Princess Aurora turn into Maleficent, even if it's for a good cause. Roger didn't want to start anything because between his military training and martial arts, he could kill the guy, and we aren't in Texas. The he needed killing defense doesn't apply in Florida, though that may be changing that very soon. The parade was coming, so I tried to ignore this idiot and focus on the coolness of the Halloween parade. Now, Mr. Pushy has both of his kids on the ledge, and the 8-year-old keeps poking Roger in the back. This is starting to get dangerous. Roger turns and gives the girl the hairy eyeball. No good. She is oblivious. He turns the eyeball on the dad. He doesn't care. She keeps pushing into Roger. He starts pushing back. She steps on Roger's Coke, which spills all over his shoes. Okay, that does it. I think there's gonna be a whooping. I start looking for a woodshed. Roger's knuckles are turning white from gripping the edge of the planter. I hold my breath and wait until the parade is over. In one fell swoop, I grab Roger and we run into the street. Oh, gee, did I just step on Mr. Pushy's toes in my high heels really hard? Oh, I'm so sorry. Not. We are now officially exhausted. I don't even want to trick or treat. My princess dogs are barking and my ankle is starting to get a bit swollen. This is the first time I've put on heels and I've reached my limit. We decide to watch the fireworks out on Main Street and then call it a night. The fireworks show starts and it's very impressive, especially when the fireworks go off all around you. When you're in the park, there is music, a story about the villains taking over the castle, but I really don't need the bells and whistles. A good show is just fine with me. Well, this princess is now very tired. I just want to get out of the dress and the wig and the shoes and lie on the bed. Tomorrow is an Epcot Mission Space Day, and it's also Halloween. Just 2 more days of fun left, and I need to conserve my strength. So 2 very sleepy people toddled back into Wilderness Lodge. We didn't even notice what was going on outside on the patio. So that is it for tonight. Tomorrow's chapter is Mission Hurl. And I will have my special Easter co-host, Bun, the Boozy Bunny, with me. A couple things about Mickey's Not So Scary in Disney World. The very here, let's go back even farther in time. I think it was the second Mickey's Not So Scary party in Disneyland that they ever did. Catwoman and I went to Disneyland, and I was wearing that same Princess Aurora dress that Ruthie made for me, actually. And it is awesome. And they were accosting people, cast members were grabbing people, and for the parade, they were putting and asked us if we wanted to be in the parade. And I said, sure. I mean, who wouldn't? Well, they put me on the finale float right under a giant castle with Maleficent. So I got to ride down Main Street in the Disney Halloween parade dressed as Princess Aurora on the float with Maleficent. I would have paid them money for that. That was one of the best things of my entire life. Now, about Disney World in 1998, my very first trip there, I was there with Amethyst and Elliot and Rian, and I wore the Sleeping Beauty dress. Rian was dressed as Cruella de Vil, and Am and Elliot were Pongo and Perdita. And two things happened that were particularly fun. One, being stopped by cast members left, right, and center, especially Imagineers who thought that the dress was so amazing they had to look at it up close. So, Ruthie, that shows you that dress was dead on. The other thing was this fabulous drag queen dressed as Maleficent that wanted to take a picture with me. Also, on that trip, they had a Halloween ride on the Jungle Cruise called Find Simba. It was the best thing ever, and Disney will never do it again because it was so awesome. Basically, you got into the Jungle Cruise and they turned off all the lights, and they gave everyone flashlights. And then you're going through the all the different rivers. None of the animatronics are working, okay? You just have your flashlights in the dark, and you're trying to find Simba. So they have about 50 stuffed Simbas that they've hidden all around the ride. So it's like, oh, look, there's Simba in a tree. Oh, there's Simba in a bush. And then it was like, oh, there's Simba's head on the spear of a native. Oh boy, there's Simba in the mouth of a hippo. Oh boy, what's that monkey doing to Simba? It was brilliant. So, of course, Disney got rid of it. They only had it that one time, and it was glorious. And they took it away. God damn it. So, yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of Mickey's Not So Scaries, both at Disneyland and at Disney World. I think the last time I was at Mickey's Not So Scary in Disneyland was maybe 8 years ago, and I didn't go into the park. I was in downtown Disney, and it seemed like an overflow of sexy everything. I am not a fan. You just name me something, and there was a sexy Halloween costume for it. You know, sexy Hermione, sexy Snow White, sexy nurse, sexy traffic cone, sexy coffee cup. There was nothing that they couldn't make sexy, and it was, I think I just kind of threw up in my mouth a little. But anyway, that is it for now. Remember to subscribe, to like. If I can get 100 people to subscribe, then I can have a personalized address for YouTube. And right now, with us all just being stuck in here, it's making me a little crazy. And this is the one thing that I have to live for. So do it. My mental health depends on it. Thank you. So good evening from District 1 to all of you out there in your districts, and may the odds be ever in your favor.